I have just two questions, just two simple questions to the two politicians, one a Rajya Sabha member and the other a deputy chief minister of some state. I won't name the state, we won't name their qualification, whatever it is, their level of common sense, their maturity, we won't comment on that. We assume that they are right in their heads, but they should answer two very simple questions. Because on what they said in response to Hindi and in response to the three language formula, they should answer, if they have an answer, two very simple questions. So let us see whether they can answer these questions or not. First question is to the Rajya Sabha member. She is a very matured lady, very experienced, very senior, and apparently respectable. She has written books. So, just my two simple questions to this Rajya Sabha member. Number one, and all this in reference to the statement she gave that I know 8 languages. That's what she said. I know 8 languages. Now, my two questions are the 8 languages you know, all the 8 languages you know, do you know for the purpose of casual conversation, for just watching a film, going to market, speaking with friends? Do you know just for casual day-to-day work? Or do you know the language so well that you can pass a school examination if you take a test, just like students do? If you take a test, if you are given a question paper, can you pass in all the 8 languages with very good marks, maybe 80% or 90%? Can you pass in all the 8 languages, or your knowledge of 8 languages is confined to just casual daily use? Maybe maximum listening to news, listening to videos, watching films, going to market, talking with friends. The knowledge of 8 languages, is it confined to this casual conversation and day-to-day working knowledge, or the 8 languages do you know to an extent, you have the mastery that you can take an exam, a school question paper of the same standard as the students give? If you are given a question paper, you can score say 80% in all the 8 languages. This is question number one. My second question is, when did you learn all the 8 languages? Did you learn them at the school level, or did you learn them afterwards in the course of your travel, in the course of your meeting people, in the course of visiting various places? Did you learn the languages after, or during school itself you knew 8 languages? Because the students are being imposed in the school stage. Afterwards, they may go various places, they may learn. If they are going to some other state, even some other country, they may learn the language, that is different. But at the school stage, so did you know all these 8 languages at the school level? And what is your level of mastery in these 8 languages? Is it for casual conversation, or is it enough? Really, you got the excellent command to take an examination and get very high marks, distinction in all the 8 languages. So answer these two questions. My question is to the Deputy Chief Minister. We will not discuss anything about him. Whatever may be his educational qualification, he may be a metric fail, he may be a metric pass. He may have black belt, blue belt, red belt. We are not talking about any of his qualifications, any of his things, but what he said about film dubbing. So my first question is that, do you think the level of knowledge required to watch a film in Hindi is the same as the level of knowledge required to pass an examination? A person watching a film, even if he understands 80% or 75%, it's okay, he can follow the story. And if he has to take an exam where he has to learn literature, poetry, grammar, punctuation, spellings, so the mastery of the knowledge, he must go deep into that language. So do you think watching a film and having to appear for an examination, now do they require the same extent of mastery, the same knowledge, or to take an examination you need a much deeper knowledge, you will have to put more effort, you have to study for more number of hours than just watching a film? So this is a question. What do you think? Because you are equating film dubbing with uh, imposing Hindi in Tamil Nadu or anywhere else. So the knowledge required, the Hindi knowledge required to just watch and follow a film, or even go to market and buy some things or gossip with your friend, is it the same as required for appearing for an examination? That is my first question. Second, films are commercial. They are made by commercial people. They will be made in all languages. They will be made in all languages because their main motive is money. Now, is the government's education policy commercial? When you are equating the film dubbing and the three language formula or Hindi imposition formula, do you think, like film is commercial, do you think the government's educational policy is also commercial? So answer these two questions, whether the level of knowledge required for watching the film and the level of knowledge required for appearing for an examination, whether you think they are equal. Second, do you think just as film is commercial, so can it be compared with the education policy? Is it also commercial because you are in the government? So I hope you will answer the questions to the best of your ability. Know that none of them would be able to answer the questions. They won't answer, because if they answer, all the meaningless statements they made would be exposed. So it's okay. I can understand that you are very loyal to your master and you have to defend all the actions of the government. This much I can understand. Loyalty is a very good virtue. In fact, we praise dogs because they are faithful. Now, I'm not calling you dogs, but what I'm saying is dogs are faithful. So being faithful, being loyal, that's a very good virtue. But do not undertake this virtue to that extent when you become a laughing stock, when you advance meaningless, useless arguments, and you yourself don't know what you are talking. So at least be sensible when you say something. You may defend the government, you may oppose the government, you may have your views, but let it be a rational. Let it be rational, let it be sensible, let it be meaningful. So at least this much, I think, maturity and common sense you have. So I hope that in future, at least, even if you don't answer the questions in regard to the three language policy, even if you support, I don't have any objection. You may support Hindi teaching, that's okay. But you will not equate your 8 languages, you will not equate your film dubbing with teaching of language in schools to school children.